Okay, y'all. We got this. So, yeah, life is. I have been having a panic attack, like various panic attacks all freaking day. And, well, like my heart is in my stomach. And there are very few reasons that ever happens. So, the only times my heart is in my stomach is when I'm having a panic attack, like right now. See, I can't even say my words correctly, and I've been having trouble with that all day. 'Cause, panic attacks, they suck. So, life. Okay, so let me start off talking about what has happened. Well, let me start off talking about why I'm freaking about what's happening. So you guys remember the guy who really liked music? I had a crush on him. I still kind of do, but not as much. Life, you get over stuff. So, yawn. Life has not been good to me right now. This year, life has not been good to me. My cat died in February. When we did The Little Mermaid, we had tech issues and I stressed out. And I failed a few times. And then in May, I lost a lot of money at the Derby. And then, in the summer, I did nothing and I was home alone every single day, except for the weekends. So I was bored and I was lonely and I had no one to hang out with, except for my friends across the street. Then I've had 2 people die in the past 2 months. What kind of life is this? So, yeah. So obviously crushes don't work out for me. Ever. Or do they? Okay. In a time when I was obsessed with the paranormal and supernatural, I would look up so many magic websites like this because I had so many crushes because, little new teenager self was like, I like all of these guys. I like them. I like them a lot. I like all of them. All the ones that look really cute. I like them. But they're so out of my league. So what I would do is the ones I had major crushes on. So I'd look up all these websites that specifically did horoscopes and love spells. And one of those was put on the guy that likes me now. And I gotta say it's either coincidence or it really did work. And that was the neighbor across my street. That was the neighbor across my street. And so yeah. And I used to have a crush on him. I didn't before, but now when I think about it, it's well, why do I like Cardell? And why do I like Jared? I just said their names. Okay, well, whatever. the reason I liked Jared, and still do, is because he is hot as fire, and he does music, and he makes me laugh. And that's about it. Reason I like Cardell: great personality, great morals, pretty cute, makes me feel safe, makes me laugh. I'm sorry, I just went into a vision. A vision of me and Cardell. And I just looked at the moon, because it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Y'all should be looking out your windows tonight. My bed's right next to a window, so if I ever left my window open overnight, every one of my neighbors would be able to see me sleep. So, yeah. And then there's, yeah, so those are the reasons why. So what has happened is my neighbors, Cami and Cardell. Because I'm just going to say the names because I don't give a crap, because this ain't no, like, YouTube video that's going to be relevant. It's not going to be relevant ever. So, yeah. Yawn. And what else is there? There's a life. I forgot what I was gonna say. My mind. Oh yeah. So their parents got a divorce, and by the time I knew it, when I got home, they just started packing up, and then by about 8 o'clock they were gone. I'm just like, I didn't get to say goodbye. And so that night, that's when I had the come to Jesus meeting about my feelings by myself, because obviously I have no one. Because, I mean, me having friends outside of school, that's impossible, because it's true. It is very true. Because they were the only friends on my street, in my neighborhood, because everyone else is so young. I mean, the oldest one in my neighborhood that I know of is, in 7th grade. And it's a guy. So, already right now, especially mostly on weekends, it's torture. And this is only like the first weekend without them being here. And just to tell y'all, I might cry because this makes me really sad. And because y'all know, like, when you lose a friend, like a really important, special friend, it's like a typical breakup, a stereotypical breakup. I'm not like that though. Like with breakups, I'm fine, but like with friends leaving, it's just the light on my face. Is that better? What is that? I don't know. I may just be like really pale. Maybe I just need to stay away from the camera. Cause it looks like I'm just like a ghost. Okay, so, yeah. So, like, with breakups, I'm fine with them. It's like, okay, it wasn't meant to be. I'm fine. I'm not gonna waste my time and cry over it. And most of the time, it's like me breaking up with them, so it don't affect me whatsoever. And I've never had relationships that lasted long, but I have had friendships. I cried after one of my friends moved to West Virginia, but not for this long. So the reason I had that come to Jesus meeting, because I was like wondering, wait, why am I crying so much? And why is the main reason I'm crying because of the guy who likes me? And it's like, well, when I thought about it, when I looked deep down into my mind, because minds trick you, because minds hate you, I was like, wait, I do like Cartel. And that's just because I thought about it. I looked deep into the reasons why I do everything. Not like why the reasons I do theater or the reasons I do music, but the reasons that I've actually been like trying on my looks and not mouthing lyrics to musical theater on the bus, because I did that, because musical theater is my best friend. And by now, it's the only friend I have at home. So, I mean, I got like my mom and my little sister, and then my dad at his house, which is literally the street in front of the street that I'm on right now. Because my dad lives close, so it's like a 3-minute walk. Ain't that long? Sometimes I can't even listen to like a whole song. But yeah, off topic. So yeah. And the guy Jared, it's just like, the reason I've pretty much like lost the crush over him. Because I can tell, because it's because I called him because I was freaking out, because he's like the only one's number who would actually answer me. Because I was trying to call Cammy, I was trying to call Carta, like asking them like, hey, where did you go? And they wouldn't answer. I Snapchatted them millions of times, they wouldn't answer. And so I was having the worst panic attack. Like, I can't even express it into words. It was just like, I was breathing heavy, and I was home alone because my mom didn't have a sitter, for yesterday, so, because this happened on Thursday, so Thursday, she was gone for about 2 hours, because she had to drive all the way to Frankfurt to, give my sister to her dad for, until today when he brought her back in the morning, which I was surprised that he brought her back as early as he did. So, good thing about that is they always like keep bringing over movies, and I'm one of those people who are just like, I love Disney movies. I can, like the animated ones, and I can watch them over and over and over again. And today I decided to watch Mulan, and I love it. I love Mulan. Mulan's awesome. Mulan is life. No, not really. But like, Disney is life. Like, people who didn't grow up on Disney are messed up. Like, they are not normal. I mean, I know all of my theater friends grew up on Disney. Yeah, well, I know usually my voice is like this and really happy and excited and stuff, but then when I start talking depressing, it's down here and really boring and just in a negative tone, because my voice changes for different situations. Like when I'm happy about like getting a part, it's just like this, and then when I'm sad, it's just like this, like where my throat is basically closed because it's so depressed and does not want me to get air. Not in like that suicidal way that I kind of thought of when I thought of that, but I mean, you live and learn. Yum, yum, yum. So, yeah, and it makes me really sad because, I mean, what I realized was like, wait, I've just realized that I like this person. And they've gone away to where I'll probably never see them again. And that's where I started to have my big panic attack. And it was like Thursday night, and yesterday when I got home from school, I usually like watch YouTube videos right when I get home. I tried watching one, I couldn't even get through the whole thing because I was just like, I'm gonna listen to Broadway musicals. And I did what every typical girl would do. Listen to one sad song over and over again. But the song I listened to, it's not exactly sad, but it's just like two people in love. Because it's from the musical Aladdin, the Broadway musical, and it was the song A Million Miles Away, and I was just thinking about it. It's like, well, to me right now, he's a million miles away. So, yeah, and I just kept thinking about that. Every single time, and I just kept crying. Like a dramatic teenager would do. So, there goes the tears. I warned y'all I would cry. One thing I know is that they haven't switched schools yet. I'm just hoping that they don't. Or that would really make me just bawl out and cry for days. And I won't. And if they stay in the same school the whole time and just decide to live somewhere like here in Winchester, at least really close, where they can still go to the same schools, I won't see Cammie till I'm a senior, and I'm a sophomore right now. So next year when I'm a junior, she'll be in 8th grade, and she'll be a freshman when I'm a senior. So, yeah. It just... I can't. I can't cope with stuff like this. And so it was like, I accomplished 2 really sad things. I officially have no friends in my neighborhood. And I cried over a guy for the first time. Legit, for the first time. And I'm a sophomore in high school. I mean, I know it's shocking. I should have cried millions of times by now. But no, I mean, it's like, I'm one of those people who, like, in a relationship, like, if someone asks me out and they're decent, it's like, I can't say no, or I feel like I will break their hearts forever and damage their souls. So yeah, I did that, and it's like, to me, like, when I think back to it, like, just the relationship of it was like an arranged marriage. It's like you're cool with each other, but it's not like love. And so, my first boyfriend, broke up with him. Second, which was in 6th grade, so it doesn't really count. In 7th grade, that boyfriend, I broke up with him, and I called him emo. So I left it out on a bad note, because I was like, screw this, I gotta get this over with. I gotta damage his soul so that I feel bad, but I don't feel too bad, if that makes any sense. And my eyes are so watery just a little bit. Got some excess tears. Yeah. And there were times yesterday when I wasn't even sad, but like just tears would come flowing down my face, because on the inside I was still sad. So, let me hear. It's really trashy right now. So, I don't know what to do anymore. I mean, life has just like taken a tumble. I feel like I'm back where I was when I went into 6th grade. Where it's like, because I went to a private school for elementary school, so obviously I knew no one in 6th grade, except for the people who went from the public school, from the private school to the public school. So, I don't know, well, at least now I know I have emotions. And it's not just like reflected off of other people's emotions. Because before I'm like, well, do I have any like real strong emotion over love? It's like, well, yeah, I know I do. And just like them being gone is so much torture inside my soul. Cause like I think about it and like it's just unfathomable. Big words there for people who are not academically inclined. So things have, it's only been 3 days and I've already just been like so I don't even know the word for it. I just know when I get sad I yawn a lot because my body's like, well, you're not gonna get sad enough to where you're gonna cry, so my body likes to make me cry by making me yawn because I have very weak tear ducts. So, yeah, so when I yawn, it takes like about 2 or 3 yawns for me to start tearing up. Sometimes only like 2, because they're big yawns. So, I don't know, like, this has just been keeping me from being happy. And usually, like, I'm happy so much to where people don't even know how I usually am so happy. People are like people like my personality's happy. Sometimes I don't dress happy, but my personality is just like so joyful and bright and positive. And like Thursday, I was like so happy. I dressed happy. I felt happy. And people were like, did you get a boyfriend? It's like, nope. I just feel overly positive today. And then Friday, it's like, I don't know what it was like. And usually, like, these things, I put it out of my mind. That's the problem with me, though. Like, when I put it out of my mind, it's like I forget about it. And then I look back at it, and I realized, oh, wait, that really happened. So, there's a good side to, like, forgetting stuff. Like, forgetting the bad things. And then there's also a bad side. Because, like, when you forget the bad things, you don't believe it's real. You can't process it to where it is real, where it is reality. So, in some points in your life, you're living a fantasy. Just like when people die, it's like, well, like, especially when I don't know them very well, it's just like, I cry for like one day, and then the next, I'm like, I forgot about it. And because how people think that you mourn normally, I mean, there are times in my life I'm not proud of it, but where I use, like, to say that how this person died pretty recently as an excuse for some things in school. And then I use other things as an excuse. And it's not a good thing to do. I'm not proud of it. I shouldn't have done it. It's just, it should never happen. It shouldn't. I don't know. Okay, so sorry, I'm getting all disgusting and a mess. So this has been like awful, annoying, stressful, unrealistic in my mind. Not reality. This is not happening. how my mind feels like it is. But then every day I have to think that this is reality. And I don't know if this is true, but people are saying that the Electoral College doesn't officially vote until like December 19th. And I'm not going to say who I want to win, but if they vote the wrong person, I'm going to have two things to cry about every single morning and every single night. And so a lot has just been stressing me out to where I just don't know a lot of things, and a lot of I just feel like life is giving me the hardest of years, trying to bite at every little piece of thing that keeps me positive. It's like being able to make fun of things, to cope with stuff. It's biting at that. Realizing the future of our country, it's biting at that. Like thinking our country's safe, it's biting at that. Having people that I love in my life, it's biting at that. It's getting at every single piece of happiness that I have in my life that's keeping me positive on a daily basis. It's like, yeah, I might be stressed out, but at least I'm positive. At least there's something like keeping me going, keeping me on this, as I could say, a happy plane, where some people aren't always on the ride. They don't go to the full destination. Which in most cases I do. In most cases I do go on the happy plane. I reach the destination. I get to where I'm headed. I figure out stuff. I know what's going on. Everything is fine, but when you can't fathom something, it's kind of hard. It's hard when you can't realize that this is reality, and it totally just rips the happiness right out of your soul. And I know that this is kind of like just depressing, this depressing video, but this is just one of those days to where it's not fun. It's not a good day. It's not a good time. I'm not on the happy plane currently. I'm moving away from my destination. I'm going backwards instead of forwards. So, I don't even know what to say right now. It's just, I don't know. It's not good. Life isn't good. I keep repeating myself over and over. I don't mean to. So, if anyone I accidentally mentioned their actual names in this video, sorry. Just gonna say that real quick. I'm gonna keep going. And thank you for the good wishes. I have been trying to keep my head up. I will be back on the happy plane and moving forward eventually, but until then, I just need to figure out a way to accept reality and cope with it. So before, let me just say this. Let me just talk about my life, what I've had. Okay, so the fun times I've had with Cardell. I've known them for such a long, that's why this hurts. I've known them for such a long time. I've known them since I think like second or third grade. And they just make life so fun. My mom the other day posted a video of Cammie, Cardell, and my other friend Colton of us just when we would, so I would play Just Dance all the time, and then she posted a video of us doing Just Dance, and obviously I was young and I looked ugly when I was young. I look back at it, it's like I've changed so much, and I'm glad I changed. So I watched that video, and back then it was like Cardell was just a friend, and then move on years, I started to have a crush on Cardell. So what I do, it would kind of just be like when I was around Cardell, I just feel really happy all of the time. And he was one of the things that just like is buffering. That's perfect. Okay, there we go. Stream resumed. Stream is continuing. Stream is... Okay, stream is back. Stream looks like it's buffering again. There we go. So, yeah. And I don't... my... Let me explain it in these words. Well, no, I didn't finish my thing because my, like, stream kept buffering. Yeah, so I started to have a crush on Cardell. And like I said, when I was young, I used to be obsessed with supernatural type stuff, like magic and aliens and werewolves and vampires and stuff like that when I was a kid. And so there were two guys. There was a guy named Luke, and then there was Cardell. So I would look up so many just like magic websites just like to look at it because it's so cool and interesting. And I was interested in that type of stuff. So what I did was like there was this thing that said that it would cast a spell on a person to make them love you, to like make them love with you, for you. And so I put Luke's name in there, and then I put Cardell's name in there. And the way I feel like it worked, because it was only like a few, like in June, was when I realized that Cardell started liking me. And my video went offline again. There we go. So yeah, video keeps going offline and going back online, and that's kind of annoying. So, it's just, I mean, how would you all take it? Like, if something that, like you wished so many years ago would happen, actually happened. And so that's what amazes me. It may be that, because, there has to be weird stuff in this world. Or there wouldn't be me, because Lord knows I'm weird. But, like, we have all these diseases, and we see the ones that make our lives worse. But would you really report a disease that makes your life better? So, there could be some weird things out there. And we just don't know it. And like with aliens, do you really think in the whole wide space out there that's infinite, that there isn't anything else except for us? Because to me, that resembles, so much of self-centeredness and narcissism. However you say it, because obviously I can't say that word. And my video keeps going on and offline. This keeps going on and offline. I'm getting annoyed. I just need to stretch there for a minute. Okay. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I honestly just, don't know. I don't know what to do with life anymore. I don't know how to process this. To me, it's just it's not real. It can't be real. It's never gonna be real, but it is. It's always gonna be real. So, it's hard to cope with stuff like this. For me, for somehow death I can handle, but losing one of my friends I can't. Death in the family, like a family member. I can cope with that, but I can't with having a friend move. This is how my mind thinks. My mind just thinks. I feel like my mind and myself are two different things. Because you got my personality, which comes from my brain. I whispered. But then you have the things that are just, I don't know, and I can't remember what I was talking about. But, yeah, so, I just don't know anymore. when I get sad like this, when I start just like to go on forever, it's just like my mind goes, in times like this, my mind goes to places unknown, places that I really should not go to, and places that are bad for me and bad for my output of emotions, bad for just about everything. So, I mean, just this situation, it brings me speechless. Because on usual days, I'd be like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm like, I'm gonna watch some YouTube and Netflix and eat and drink pop and eat candy ever since Halloween. And listen to musicals and do random crap that I usually wouldn't do during the weekdays. That's how I am on a weekend. And then it's like, well, maybe I'll Cammy want me to come outside. And then every time I think about it, because first off, Cardell is always the one who sees, like, if I can come outside because Cammy wants me to. Though, I mean, when I think about it, it's like, well, he probably wanted me to come outside too. Like, a lot. And, yeah. I guess I've kind of calmed down a bit more. So, I guess next time. Bye.